Let's see here, Mr. Not So Off Grid. Jason, have you hooked an external charge controller into the battery port?
Yeah, so the on these power stations, they're referring to the expansion battery port, which is basically a direct connection into the internal battery. So it's just a 51.2 volt lithium iron phosphate battery, and you can essentially connect any charger or any load to that expansion battery port. And I have connected charge controllers. I have a you know it, there's a lot of things that you can do, and there's a lot of things that you know it goes back to the same thing we were talking about earlier. Is like I can make a video about connecting every single device that I can think of to a power station, or you can just understand the concept that it's a direct connection to the battery, so you can charge it through that, or you can discharge it through that port. So yeah, eventually I'll put a video out, but the concept is pretty simple. You can get access to the battery through that port, so connecting chargers, solar chargers, all that stuff will work.
If I remember right, at least from looking at some of the Blue Eddy ones and some of the Anchor power stations that I've looked at, a lot of those you have to jumper something in order to activate those terminals for the expansion ports, right?
Yeah, so that's the EcoFlows.
Okay.
The EcoFlow requires a small resistor just to activate the expansion battery port. Luckily, the Blue Eddy, you can just take your voltmeter and it has live voltage whenever the power
Hmm.
station is turned on. And same with the anchors, at least the newer, F3000 series, so F3800, F3000, and then some of their smaller ones. But the older ones, not so much, like the older F2000s and things like that. But yeah, it's wide open on a lot of models. And then some of like the smaller, cheaper versions or brands, they don't have live voltage on the ports. So I don't know why they don't, or maybe what might be the thinking there. But like some of them are like there's a brand called Afri,
Yeah.
and they don't have live voltage. Um, Trying to think of some other ones. Pecron was a budget brand, but they do have live voltage. So I mean, most of them seem to work fine.
Okay. I had somebody ask me. I did a video on um, the Anchor Solix E10 smart generator,
Oh
which
yeah,
can output 400 volts directly into the DC battery. And somebody was like, "Could you just run that 400 volts into a charge controller and use it on any old system?" And
probably.
I'm like, if they made the ports active, more than likely, but with 400
Hmm.
volts, they're going to have even more security and safety stuff built
Voltage
Yeah,
into it.
down.
You're gonna
you'd
have like
hope
an
so.
EV handshake or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You would hope that there's some sort of communication going on there, so it's not just putting out 400 volts.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jason, have you found a way to hack the DPU to use a DIY 102.4 volt battery?
Yeah, so the DPU and the Jackery 5000 both have 102 volt nominal battery, which is just two 51.2s in series, right? So I don't know. Maybe you guys are aware of a battery that supports series connections, like a server rack battery. I'm not aware of any that support series connections for 100 volts.
Not without a custom BMS.
Yeah, and that was my understanding. So if there was a battery out there that would probably work, the Jackery 5000 does have live voltage at the expansion battery port. I don't know if the DPU does. I don't know. I think there's a lot more going on with the DPU, so I don't think hacking that would work very well. It seems a little bit more complicated, a lot more things going on than just battery voltage. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, none of the server rack batteries can support a series connection.
Yep. Yeah, they'll specifically say don't wire in series or you're gonna melt the BMS.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think they did that just to prevent people from using server racks to expand their system?
No, I actually think
I'm just, I'm
yeah,
not-
no,
I don't know.
some people might think that, but I think the because the 48 volt batteries, you're pushing there's these expansion battery cables. They're pushing a lot of amps, so they're like, let's
Yeah.
get rid of this amperage and just double the voltage.
Yeah.
So I
Smaller
think it was
wires.
just to limit the amperage going through their cables, and so it seemed to work well. I mean, half the amps going through the same size cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it should be a little more efficient, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you have a DC battery that's almost the same voltage as the inverter,
Mm-hmm.
or at least single phase, but
Yeah.
Is the footprint any different on that one? When because I can't remember.
yeah, the DPU batteries are they're flat and wide. So
Okay.
I'm guessing they just have a bunch of cells just wired in series sitting in one flat. Or
Okay.
I have not opened up those batteries. Maybe if one goes bad, I'll open one up, take a look. But things have been working well on it. I've been using it for over 2 years. So
Oh, cool.
Thanks for watching this clip from Unplugged Live. If you want to see the rest of the full hour show, check it out right here. We do it live every single Thursday night. Catch us live and be part of the conversation.